A group of door-to-door magazine salesmen and women caught the attention of law enforcement in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Well, now the Better Business Bureau says two men wanted on felony warrants may be bringing that scam to Southwest Idaho. Dale Dixon joining us to talk about that. Dale, thank you so much.
Good morning.
Dale, so why is there the concern? How big is that concern, and why do you think they're actually headed to Southwest Idaho?
Late last week, we started picking this up at the Better Business Bureau that Blue Diamond Subscriptions was going door to door. Spokane County Sheriff's Office was concerned about this. When they did some digging, they found out that two men associated, Brandon Stice and Blaze Osting, who are in management positions, had felony warrants out for their arrest. The interesting thing in this is that as law enforcement tracks what they're doing, as this Blue Diamond is working in neighborhoods, people all of a sudden start reporting that somebody's knocking on the door, claiming to do some kind of a fundraising through magazine sales and asking for a lot of money. Then, late last week, all of a sudden, the Pullman Police Department released a report, a press release saying Blue Diamond is in the neighborhood and beware of it. Also, same situation. They knocked on an elderly woman's door, talked her into taking them down to Walmart to buy a $2,800 television, supposedly for some kind of charity. So we know they're from Arizona. We've tracked them in Spokane, now in Pullman. It only makes sense that they're going to be making their way south, heading home. And if they come through the Treasure Valley, we want folks aware.
And so people have actually fallen prey to this then?
Yes, okay. Yeah. Folks in Spokane lost thousands of dollars.
Wow. So what happens now then?
We encourage folks to be aware and be looking out. And if somebody knocks on the door claiming to be with Blue Diamond Subscriptions, selling magazines door to door, call law enforcement and call the Better Business Bureau. We'd like to know about it.
And so I feel like I've had this happen to me before, where people come and try to sell magazines. So what are some tips for anybody who's selling magazines, and if I answer the door, what should I be aware of?
My first rule is to ask for their solicitor's permit, plain and simple. So the solicitor's permit is issued by the city clerk in the city in which you live. If you live in the county, you don't have this. But the solicitor's permit must be used anytime somebody goes door-to-door selling. So that's your first clue. If they don't have that, I say, conversation's over, go on your way. In this case, it's a great opportunity to call law enforcement and let them know. Then we encourage folks to stand strong. Don't let them in your house. They're going to try to work their way in, especially if they're not good. They'll try to get inside your house. And so stand strong, stand your ground, verify who they are. Don't just take their word for it at the door, but say, you know, hold on if you're interested in the product, and check them out with Better Business Bureau and be sure that the city clerk's permit is accurate. And then know your rights. If you do purchase something, you do have 3 days to change your mind from a door-to-door sales standpoint. We call it the 3-day cooling off rule. And that means simply that if something changes, you don't like what you've purchased, you have 3 days to get your money back. And they have to provide in writing that policy.
And once again, this company that has been kind of traveling, what's their name again? So people
Blue Diamond Subscriptions, and the two men that have been identified on warrants, being wanted on warrants, Brandon Stice and Blaze Osting.
All right, people remember those names and keep those tips in mind for anyone who's coming to your door selling those things. Dale, thank you so much for being with us. BBB has more on protecting your money and identity on their website at bbb.org. Time right now is 6:20.